Hello everybody, my name is Kalen Portillo and I'm here today to talk to you about HVAC. Just give you some basics on what to expect. So here's our table of contents of what we're going to be talking about. What is HVAC, the functions, the different types you have, what goes into buying a HVAC unit, also your important factors, your budget, we'll get more into detail into that, your ducting, heating, and short and sweet. So what is HVAC is the question some people have. And to be simple, it is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. As an HVAC tech, the career can be very, very broad. It can range anywhere from working on ice rinks and chillers to your residential homes and businesses that own cold storages, things like that nature. Next, we have the functions of HVAC. There's a few functions that are very, very basic, and they are the control of air temperature. Controlling your air temperature allows you to regulate how cold you want it, how hot you want it, things of that nature. Controlling the moisture content in the air, that's another big one. You don't want to be sitting in here like a swamp cooler all day, but with HVAC we can change that. Ensuring proper airflow, that's a major one. You have to make sure you have the right CFM per room, or else you won't feel much cooling and you'll be wasting tons of energy. The last one is to hold air contamination within acceptable conditions, and by that we mean just by putting a better filter in, you can reduce so many allergens and particles that are in your home. They'll be stopped right there before they spread. Next, you have the basic components of air conditioning. Now, it's 4 basic components. You have your compressor, condenser, thermal expansion device, and your evaporator. First, we have the compressor. The compressor serves as the heart of the whole operation. It's what pumps and condenses the refrigeration in the cycle. Next, you have the condenser. Next, you have the condenser. The condenser is what we call the outdoor coil in a split system. It's what pushes the heat or rejects and sends it outdoors. Next, you have the thermal expansion device, or the TXV. That is what we use to regulate the flow of refrigeration in the system. Next, you have the evaporator. The evaporator is what we would call the indoor coil. The indoor coil is what absorbs the heat from the home and sends it to the outdoor coil. It makes the home cool. And there is a picture of the refrigeration cycle. And here we have a very, very basic form of the airflow pattern. And here you have your cooling coil going through to a fan and into the room, then from out the room to the return air and an exhaust. Very, very basic. There's variations of systems. The AC splits into pretty much 2 basic systems, and that's the non-ducted products and ductable systems. Now, the branching can go far beyond, as I said before. The range of the field is very, very broad, and there's many different types of equipment. But these are the 2 basics that it all falls into. Now, these are the types of personal home air conditioning. You have your split units. Your split units are what we use: no duct and 2 coils, a blower, and a filter. It's a pretty basic setup. Next, you have your window AC. It's pretty self-explanatory there. It's little installation, and it sits on the window. It's a small all-in-one unit as well. It has both coils and a fan and the compressor. Now, a package unit is what we have on top of the homes. You see those in a lot of residential neighborhoods, on top of businesses. It's an all-in-one heating and cooling. It's made for places that pretty much don't have room for furnaces, or they just don't have room for coils to run through the homes. Next, you have the types of duct. You have factory ducts, which are pre-manufactured duct systems, and then you have your site fabricated, or as I was taught, tailgate, and that's where you customize per the customer's home, and you develop a new way to build airflow. Next are your ducting accessories. You have the diffusers, you have a grill or a damper. As you see here, diffusers are an attachment for broadening airflow and reducing its speed. Now the grills, those are also called the return or the register, as the perforated cover of an air duct in HVAC. It's usually what you see in every home, is a grill. Dampers are what you usually use to divide the home into different sections, and when we do that, it's so each section can regulate its own temperature, humidity. Next is heating. If you didn't know, heating was actually used by the Romans first. They called it hypocaust, and it was only used by the rich. Now the natural gas supplied into the units, it has a pretty bad smell, but that's all for a reason. It's an added chemical so it can help you detect leaks easier. A furnace has a very long lifespan. It averages anywhere from 15 to 40 years. It's all on customer maintenance and taking care of what you have. Next is my steps to help you buy, just things to think of. You have your calculation of cooling load requirement by taking the floor plan and measuring the rooms and calculating your CFM. Your selection of equipment. When selecting equipment, you want to see if it fits in your home, if it's within your budget. You want to check for those types of things. Designing an airflow system is a huge one. If you're not purchasing a split system, you would like to see how much it would cost to run how many feet of duct through your home. Next, you want to evaluate the system that you're going to use and see if it produces enough CFM to fill your home. Important factors for calculating the cooling load. It's many factors, but here's a small glimpse of what we can describe. You have to take account of how many people are in the home and how much foot traffic you have. You have to calculate how many numbers of windows in a room and how much sunlight those receive. You can take into factor that which way the house faces and way the sun rises on the home. The output of the AC, if it fits the room correctly, is a huge one. And there's a floor plan right there, and you would take your feet and convert that into CFM output. And these are your factors affecting your system selection. The number one thing is the client's budget. That's going to be the biggest factor for them. For us, we're going to have to evaluate and see if you need a newer system. See if it's up to date or if it's just rusted, beat up, and it's had its days. The floor layout is the big one as well. You need to see, as I said, how much CFM you can spread throughout your home. The depth of beams as well, you need to see if you can fit around all that in the attic, as it's a very chaotic and hot place to be. Your power availability, you need to have at least 120 volts to power anything on an HVAC unit. Space for servicing is another one. Can't really maintain or do anything if you don't have any room to fix your problems. Lastly, I found a video that was made by Allstate. It's a great video to watch before you want to buy a unit. It's things to look out for and just inspect on your own. The last thing is, I really hope I met my goal in helping people understand more of HVAC and helping you think of different things before you purchase, just to take into consideration. It'll help you budget and different things like that. So thank you for your time.